Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Case Closed. My name is Marjorie Roman, and we have the honor of having Attorney General himself, John Swallow. Thank you so much for coming today.
Great to be here. Thank you.
And today we want to give some advice to all of those beautiful people right there in our audience that are looking into a law school program to become a lawyer like you. So first of all, what made you decide to go into law?
Oh, well, that's quite a while ago, but there were really two primary reasons. One was I always felt a call to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States. And I just felt it from the time I was in high school. And so I felt early on that I would go to law school and really learn about it and then get into a field where, and you know how you just feel like you're drawn to certain things, different people or different things? You know, I wanted to be an NBA player first, but that was pretty clear that wouldn't happen in high school. So I'm just kidding. The second reason was I like to solve problems for people. It really means a lot to me. And I talked to a lawyer when I was in high school who I asked him, why did you go to law school? And he said, because I love solving problems. And I thought, you know what? I really want to help people solve problems. I think I can do that from law school. Those are the two reasons I really relied on when I made my decision to go to law school and then later to run for public office.
I know. And you also mentioned how you run for public office. What was the decision? How did that happen? Because it's not like everyone wakes up one day and says, I'm going to be in the government now. So how do you come up about the decision of running for being the Attorney General in Utah?
Well, one of the funny family stories in my life is that my wife had no idea when she married me that I was an aspiring politician.
Oh, wow.
She knew I wanted to become a lawyer, but she didn't know anything about running for office. And so she's kind of a quiet person and she's the rock and anchor of my life.
Aww.
But she never would have chosen the publicity of a political candidate, right? So after law school, I joined a law firm and became a partner after 5 years in this litigation firm. And I actually was noodling on my future. And I was at a 4th of July parade, and I saw a neighbor of mine up on a fire engine, and he was running for city council. Awesome. And something just ignited inside of my heart. And I thought, I'm going to talk to this guy about how he got involved in politics. And so we went to lunch, and I saw an opening in the legislature from my district. Person I thought wasn't doing a great job, and I thought she was vulnerable. So I decided to work very hard and run for the state legislature in my community. Wow. And I put together a good team. I worked really hard. And before I know it, I'm in the Capitol building in a cold January morning, raising my right arm and taking the oath of office to be a new member of the state legislature in the state of Utah, where I passed over 30 pieces of legislation and had many great experiences. And then I ran for Congress and almost won that. Oh. And then later on, I became the Utah Chief Deputy Attorney General, involved working on very high-profile legal matters, including the 24 state Attorney General action trying to fight against the constitutionality of Obamacare back in 2010 through 2012. And then I ran in 2012 for Attorney General, was elected statewide by more than 600,000 voters in my state. And it was one of the proudest moments of my political career in my life.
That's true. And I feel like it's because people truly believed in you and they saw in you someone that was doing their best to defend them, to make sure that you had all the right regulations in the government and that you had also a voice there and a voice for the people that you were representing.
That's right. And in that process, as I stood on the stage in the rotunda of the Capitol building, my childhood dream was realized. I took the oath of office to defend and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America with fidelity. And I felt like I did that. And it was an honor to serve the people of my state as their Attorney General, someone who could protect them from crime and manage the legal affairs of the entire state of Utah.
And if anything, I feel like we all are super grateful for all of these many contributions that you have done within the state of Utah. What would you say were the things that helped you earn this position?
Well, first of all, you have to be a lawyer, right? And I had many great experiences as a lawyer helping clients solve their problems, like I dreamed of as a young man when I first talked to that lawyer about solving problems. I think my experience in government was helpful to qualify me for Attorney General. My experience as Chief Deputy Attorney General, where I actually managed 7 divisions of lawyers,
Oh, wow.
handling all of the legal affairs of the state of Utah for 3 years as the Chief Deputy Attorney General. I think that helped qualify me to be the Attorney General. And then I think there's part heart. It's where you really care about the safety and the rights of the people of your state that makes you feel like you're qualified to go, and I used to say it this way, go stand on the wall and push back and defend the rights of the people who are the citizens of my home state, which was one of the things that every morning when I woke up as Attorney General, I just felt a call to make sure that I protected the rights of the citizens of my state. And it was a great feeling. It's one of the reasons why I still love the decision I made a long time ago to go into law, because I felt like I was making a difference to protect the rights of my clients. And that's something I feel called to do still. And I love the decision I made a long time ago to become an attorney and later to become the Attorney General.
That's awesome. And what was your experience like when you were in office? Were there any hardships or any difficult situations that you had to face as well?
Well, certainly there were difficult decisions that I had to make about things that we would focus on as an office. But also the funny thing about it for me was when I was Attorney General, there were people who took shots at me who felt like whether they didn't win the election or they felt like they didn't like things that I was doing, who made a bunch of false accusations against me. It's funny, and I won all of those, right? But it's funny. Sometimes I will get in the mail, even today, from the state bar in my home state.
Oh, wow.
A letter saying, "Hey, John, we want you to know that 5 years has now passed since the bar complaint was filed against you, a bar complaint I never even knew about,
Oh, my goodness.
that they dismissed because there wasn't anything to it, right? And we just want you to know that the bar complaint that you never knew about has been expunged from your attorney file." And it just made me think that there are so many people when you're in politics today who just want to take shots at you because they don't believe in the position that you stand for, or they don't like the party that you're in. We see it nationally. We see it everywhere. Politics has become so divisive and so weaponized. And that's the one part about serving in the Attorney General's office or serving anywhere in public office that I don't miss. I love the private life and how I'm able to just help my clients the way I want to and not be a target for people who throw out these false and malicious accusations all the time.
That's
and I think
true.
we need to think about that as American people and think, how do we tone down the destructive side of politics today?
That's true. Because politics was made for uniting us as a nation, for making sure that we have the right regulations in place for us to be protected, for us to be safe, for us to grow as a nation.
Right.
Which is what we do in elections. We like to have the best candidates that we can possibly get, so that way we can have people representing our voice, someone
Right.
that is looking for our best.
That's right.
Now, going back to our first questions, what is some of the advice that you would give to someone that is looking into getting into the law field?
Well, I would say don't do it for the money, although if you handle your profession right, you can be very successful in the practice of law. I say do it because you believe in the law. You believe in helping people solve their problems. And then my advice would be to specialize. Specialize in an area. If you're an aspiring law student or if you're a young attorney, find a job where you can become the very best in your chosen specialty. If you are just a jack of all trades and a master of none, as they say, you're fungible. You can be replaced by anybody. But if you're really good in natural resources or oil and gas or in government or in tax or in personal injury law or in family law or estate planning, go as deep as you can, get as much education as you can, become as proficient as you can in a specialty, and that will pay great dividends for you as you get more advanced in your career. So specialize, love it with your heart, love helping people solve problems. Get with really good lawyers who will teach you as a young lawyer how to be very good at what you do, and it will pay dividends to you down the road.
That is true. Personally speaking, I have a few of my uncles that are lawyers as well. And one of them, he was mentioning to me how he ended up finding his niche, let's say, within
Yeah.
the law field. And what he did is that he actually interned for a law firm that had multiple head attorneys or lead attorneys on different fields. Some of them were commercial, some of them were criminal. And as an intern for them during his law school times, he had the chance to work with each of them, see what each of them would do on different cases. And from all of those, that's how he was able to find his passion. So I
Right.
feel like that's a good way for some of our audience that are looking into getting into the law field to look at different opportunities within that field and see which one is the one that resonates better with you, the one that you would feel like waking up every day and saying, tomorrow I'm going to help someone and it's going to be on this specific case. And I love that. Now, tell us about your experience when you were back in law school. What was it like?
Well, a lot of late nights, a lot of reading. I had to read and read and read. And then I also had to write. I was on the Law Review, which is a kind of a high level publication that every law school has.
Oh, wow.
And so I actually wrote a Law Review case note, it was called, way back when I graduated from law school. So I had a lot of good experiences of studying late, studying with my friends who were fellow law students, editing articles and writing and publishing articles as well. Law school was like drinking from a fire hose. I was a psychology undergraduate. I thought I wanted to become a psychologist when I was undergraduate, and I couldn't decide between that and law.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to go to law school, but it was going to law school was like learning a foreign language.
Oh, wow.
A lot of my classmates had fathers or who were lawyers or had worked in a law office before. I hadn't. So I had to like learn the language of law for the first year. And then the second, third years were a lot more fun because I'd already knew the language. It was a great experience. I look back on my career and I say, I'm so glad that I practiced law. None of my children are going to practice law. I have one youngest daughter who did really, really well in English and she was an editor in her undergraduate degree, but she's now a mom. And I don't know if she'll ever go back to school, but she would really be, I think, a very good lawyer. I have a daughter who's a chemical engineer who's not going to be a lawyer. She's an executive with an equity company. I've got a son who's a dentist. And I have two daughters who are moms and college graduates, but I don't think they'll go into law. So I'm the only person in my family who is practicing law right now. But I just thought it was the greatest choice for me. Mm-hmm. And that's why I say to anybody, follow your heart. And if you want to go into law, do it because you want to help people and let the money take care of itself.
That's true. Do it because you have a passion, because that's
Right.
your call. That's your North Star that is guiding you every single day.
Right.
Now, if you could go back in time, what would you tell young John back in law school? What piece of advice would you give him?
Well, I'd say, first of all, play it again, Sam. I mean, I think I made the right decision for me. But I think the advice I would give myself is that there are ups and downs in the practice of law, and follow your heart. I have had the most incredible career. I've practiced law. I've been a partner in a law firm. I've been a general counsel in a couple of different companies. Mm-hmm. I have been a member of the state legislature and passed laws. I have been the state attorney general. I have done everything. I've climbed every mountain. I've seen every vista. I've met with the President of the United States alone, with him and me in the Oval Office while he was in office. I've had every meaningful experience I could have hoped for. And I've helped so many people and been so blessed. I would say, do it again, Sam, and hang on for a great ride, because it was such a great ride. No regrets.
That is true. And I feel like you had the opportunity to help so many people, and that's the biggest paycheck. As an attorney, of course, you do get the legal fees and everything, but the biggest paycheck is to see the smile on your clients, to see them happy after winning a case that they were struggling really hard with. Thank you so much again, John. And thank you to our audience. So if you really feel like law is your call, it's your North Star, it's the thing that makes you wake up every day thinking, I want to do this for life, go for it. Follow the advice of John Swallow and have the best time in law school in every single aspect of your career. We're going to see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.